And one of the questions we're going to talk about, and we're going to talk about it with Jeff Roberts, who is our home show pro for
awesome
all things
guy.
remodeling. Awesome guy, one of and an Aggie to boot, so we can trust him.
Oh, we still like him.
He's joining us here this morning. Good morning, Jeff. Is Jeff with us here? Yellow Jeff.
Typical Aggie.
See that?
Late to the game.
The big build.
Hello.
I'm sorry.
Hello.
I probably should have played.
Hello.
Probably should have played the War March there, and you would have known to come in. But anyway, okay,
Get a bonfire going or something.
Anyway, so Jeff, one of the challenges that we're looking at for people, and want to kind of just cut right to the quick of this, is that these are houses that are going to be underwater for weeks, and some houses months. At what point, Jeff, is a house beyond repair?
Well, ultimately, that's not up for me to decide. The insurance companies and the government gets to decide that. But if I were deciding, the first thing that would make a house not repairable is if it was structurally damaged. You can clean a house up, you can rewire it, you can replumb it, you can put it back together. But if it's structurally damaged to where it's not even safe to be in there working on it, or it might fall down on your head, I mean, that's the first thing.
Jeff Linder, I heard Jeff Linder talking about this from the Harris County Flood Control District, and what he said was that after a period of time in the water, a structure begins to degrade. But he didn't put a finer point on that, and that's what I'm asking you. I mean,
and I don't have a finer timeline that I can tell you. Things start to rot. I mean, and we're talking about 2x4s and wood rots and how long it takes a piece of wood to rot that's sitting in the water. I've never done the experiment to see, but he's right. Things begin to degrade. The weight of the house, just from the wood being wet, the weight will start to push down on the structure and make the framing bow, and it will at some point not be
Jeff,
repairable.
you're going to take you off the hook on this one. Jeff and Tom Tynan and the rest of the people out there, we don't know. But I'll tell you what, if it stays under a month, Jeff, I don't care what the insurance company says, it's got to come down.
No, I agree with you, Tom. I'm just saying technically.
The nails alone, going from the studs to the sill plate, it's just gone, man. You can't keep it there. It's not right.
And if that's the case, I mean, is it safe enough to at least go in and get your things out of it? I mean, before a house like that has to come down?
Are you asking me?
I'm sorry.
I'm
Jeff,
sorry.
I'm asking. Interviewing me.
It's just I'm just thinking if I'm sitting there. I mean, I have friends who are in this situation where it's going to be weeks, maybe even a month before they can get into that house.
Yeah, it should be safe in terms if something didn't run into the house while it was underwater, a big tree or something knocks a wall apart and you don't know it and you go in. It's mostly unsafe because of the electrical system in the house. A lot of people are going in these houses, some of them even with power on, with water on the floor. You've probably already heard some examples of people getting electrocuted. You really, really need to be careful. I know you just had Will on the phone. I couldn't hear what he was saying, but I'm sure he's going out and helping make houses safe before people go back in, but that's very important.
I would say probably the first thing you have to worry about is the electric before you go in.
I would definitely agree.
And we're going to talk to Mark in a little while about making sure what you can do to make sure your AC is safe before you go in. And he's had his own challenges. I mean, and you'll hear about that when we talk to Mark in a little while. So let's say that. So some of the flooring that's in the house, and we're going to talk with Steve over at Dunright Carpet about this. But so obviously, most of the flooring is going to have to come out. If it's wood, obviously it's over. And we heard. Why don't we recap in case anyone's joining us later in the show here about what has to come out and what doesn't if you've had water in the house? Can you walk us through that, Jeff?
Well, if you've had water in the house, there are some hard surfaces that can stay. I personally am trying to get all my clients to just take the floors out of the house, just for the sake of not knowing what's underneath even the tile, but I would take out all floors that got water on top of them for any length of time. Maybe leave some tile, but I would recommend all floors. Cut the sheetrock out depending on the height of the water. Pull the insulation out. Take the baseboards off. Any shoe mold, any trim, anything that got wet for any length of time needs to come out, and that even means cabinets. Cabinets need to come out because there's drywall behind the cabinets. There's insulation behind the drywall. The exterior sheathing is behind that. It needs to be dried out. There's a whole bunch of things that you got to be able to get to dry everything out properly. So
what about those, Jeff? What about those cabinets? I mean, if we have sheetrock that's gotten wet behind them, are those cabinets also shot, or can those be saved?
It just depends on how high the water got and how long it sat there, what they're made out of. You know, we installed a set of cabinets the day before the storm hit.
Oh, my.
And so that was on Thursday. And we weren't able to get back into the house again until Tuesday. And, yeah, the storm was still going, but we went. The lady called us and said that her house had flooded, the water had gone down in the bayou, and we could get in there, and I had people close by. So we went over there and checked it out, and we saw that the cabinets had been flooded, and we brought them back to the shop. And they're not salvageable, and they were underwater for about a day and a half. So they're gone. But we still brought them back to the shop to try to figure out if they were. Go ahead.
Jeff, I mean, I have your cabinets. Your cabinets are like furniture, and it's just like a piece of furniture. But I wanted to ask you, and I've been in this business a lot of years, almost as much as you. And do you do insurance work, or a lot of guys out there don't want to deal with insurance work. What's your plan with this storm, with people out there right now, as far as trifection goes?
Well, my plan, and I hope I can say this, but I don't like insurance work.
Nobody.
I really
does.
don't.
Come on, man. Unless you're professional, yes.
Yeah, my plan is if I don't do insurance jobs, I'm not helping people. The only way that I can help people right now, especially my clients, some of my family, is to do insurance jobs. I don't have a choice. So yes, we're doing insurance jobs. But
you're not hustling. You're out taking care of your customers. You're taking care of your regulars. If my house flooded, you'd probably be at my house, that kind of thing. But we're here giving information out. I just want people to know that sometimes they're not going to get the best of the best out there with this insurance stuff, and they have to be really careful with it.
No, that's exactly right. And I've been warning my clients, because there's companies, and I won't name them, but there's companies running around town knocking on doors taking checks. They're taking checks, and they're taking checks, and they're ripping people off, and they're not supposed to even be taking money ahead of time. It's against the rules.
So the rule of the thumb right now then is sign nothing, pay nothing.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we're still early. We're still in the tear-out stage, but I know Jeff knows this. I know this. It's going to get to be a hairy, nasty business here in about the next 3 months.
Yes, it will. Mm-hmm. It will, for lots of different reasons. It will.
And we'll get through it, because that's what we do, not only as Texans but Houstonians, and we'll make this work. We'll get back from this, and that we won't be. I read somewhere online today that that you're not going to come into Houston in a year and things are still piled up on blocks. We're going to be recovering and coming back from this. So, and I know you're going to play an important part of making that happen, Jeff. And we're thankful for you, and thankful that you are one of our home show pros. And to Tom's point and to Jeff's point, if you're looking for people you can trust, you go to HomeShowRadio.com, and every one of those home show pros has been vetted by Tom and people you can trust. Jeff, thanks a lot.
There's no doubt. Jeff, you guys are the best, man. But there are going to be people out there that want to write a check and get someone like him in there and deal with the insurance company later. So I just want people to realize that we're not hustling our certified pros just to get insurance money. We're really here to help.
Jeff, thanks a lot for being with us this morning here on Home Show Radio, and we will be talking to you more and more in the weeks to come to help folks recover from Harvey. Thanks a lot, buddy.
All right. Thank you guys for having me on.